Shout out to Joaquin, who says, Humm Baby Baseball, at some point you should rank dominant power hitting duos. And then Zendava says, actually, that's a good idea. Really good idea. Let's do it.
Humm Baby.
Enjoy this great game.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Humm Baby Baseball channel. Eric here, and we are going to rank top 10 greatest power hitting duos in the history of MLB. And before I get going, a couple of honorable mentions I just wanted to throw out because there's just so many that I thought about. I thought of combos like Clemente, Stargell. I even thought of like modern day Stanton, Judge. They haven't really had enough time together yet, but that could be a future serious power hitting duo that ends up on top 10 list. You got Bill Terry Mellott if you want to go super historical. You got Mauer Morneau, who were awesome for a long time. Kirby Puckett and Kent Herbeck were awesome. And then Giants in the 80s with Will Clark and Matt Williams. Heck, Will Clark and Kevin Mitchell were awesome for a short period of time. So there were so many that I thought about. Just wanted to throw out a few here that didn't make the list. There's probably more. Put it down below if I missed it. But anyway, let's get into the top 10. And starting at number 10, we have Al Simmons and Jimmie Foxx. They were teammates from 1925 to 1932, but Foxx didn't really hit his stride until 29 when he hit 33 bombs. Simmons hit 34. They combined for 275 RBIs that year, won back-to-back World Series together in 29 and 30, and they won an AL pennant in 31. 10 MVPs in total. 6 times they were in the top 10 for MVP, with Jimmie Foxx winning it, and they combined for a grand total of 369 home runs. They were absolutely awesome together with the A's in the late 20s, early 30s, a super combo right there. Moving into number 9, we have Ryne Sandberg and Andre Dawson. And I watched them hundreds of times in the 80s and 90s on WGN. I became a pretty big Cubs fan, despite being obviously a Giants fan, because I just watched them so much in the 80s. And they were awesome for 6 years. They made the All-Star team together for 5 of them. They racked up 7 Gold Gloves, 6 Silver Sluggers. They both got MVP votes 4 times. Dawson won it in 87. He ends up hitting 174 bombs while Sandberg hit 157 during their time as teammates. That's about 33 home runs each per season. They end up with 331, won an NL East title in 89, and this was a super power hitting duo for a long time. And moving into number 7, we have Griffey and ARod. People forget how long these guys were teammates for, and they accumulated 6 All-Star appearances, 8 Silver Sluggers, 414 home runs from 94 to 99, including 98 and 98 when Griffey hit 56 and ARod hit 42. Keep in mind, another honorable mention should be Ken Griffey Jr. and Jay Buhner, because they were together for even longer. But I think the ARod-Griffey combo was even more intimidating, and it was just amazing to see those two in a lineup together. They twice were able to bring the Mariners into the postseason, but never did win that World Series for Seattle. But what a combo that was. They're coming in at number 8, Griffey and ARod. Moving to number 7, though, it's the Bash Brothers. Spent 6 years together, and then again, they reunited in 97. But from 86 to 92, they were the talk of baseball. Everybody knew who the best power hitting combination was in baseball in the late 80s, and that was McGwire-Canseco. They both won Rookie of the Year awards. They combined for 12 All-Star selections and 3 World Series appearances, bringing 1 to Oakland in 89, unfortunately against the Giants, but they were awesome together. 400 plus bombs, the Bash Brothers. And in 97, people forget they got back together. They hit 67 home runs together that year for the A's. So this is definitely one of the best power hitting combos in baseball history. But just above them, I have one of my personal favorites because they are Giants, and that's Barry Bonds and Jeff Kent. And they were actually together for 6 years, and they were really great friends. Okay, maybe they weren't great friends, but they were awesome together. They won 3 MVPs, and Jeff Kent won 1 of them. So don't think, oh, Bonds won all 3. No, actually, Jeff Kent won 1 in 2000. He hit 175 bombs during the 6-year stretch with the Giants, while Barry hit 279, which is, of course, insane. They combined for 454 home runs, 479 if you count playoffs, 2 division titles, and a National League pennant. Super duo right there. Barry Bonds, Jeff Kent. It was amazing to watch. It was so much fun, despite the fact that they were not the greatest of friends. An amazing power-hitting duo right there, and that's Barry Bonds and Jeff Kent. But I had to put this next duo just above them, and you might be surprised just how high they are. But they broke the curse of the Bambino together and brought 2 world championships to Boston, and that's David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez. From 2003 to 2008, they also had 6 years together, and they totaled 22 postseason bombs, ending up with 422 as a duo. But again, the fact that they helped bring that title to Boston and then brought yet another one, they were absolutely amazing, especially in the postseason. And I do give a lot of credit to postseason performance and world titles as a duo. And that's why I have David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez so high on the list. I got them at number 5. And another duo that won a world championship together, they did it in 1957 for the Braves, and that is Hank Aaron and Eddie Matthews. They're coming in at number 4 on my list. They were together for 12 years, combined for a total of 863 home runs. Amazing longevity. I mean, mind-blowing longevity. They were together in Milwaukee. They were there for the move to Atlanta. And like I said, they won a world title together. They combined for 20 All-Star appearances. Hank Aaron, Eddie Matthews. It does not get much better than that, but it's going to have to get much better than that because I still got 3 more duos to talk about. How can you top Matthews and Aaron? By chasing the Babe. And in 1961, it was one of the most famous seasons of all time because not one, but 2 players were chasing Babe Ruth's 60 home run mark, and that was Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris. But what people might forget is they spent 7 years together as teammates. That is more than Ortiz and Ramirez, more than Bonds and Kent, more than McGuire and Canseco. And besides that 1961 season, they were absolutely spectacular together and won 3 MVPs in total. You're probably like, oh, probably Mantle won 2 of them. No, actually Maris won 2 of them. He won in 60, he won it in 61, and then in 62, it was Mantle's turn to win the MVP. Absolutely amazing. They hit 431 home runs together, brought multiple championships to New York for the Yankees. They were famous. They were all over the place. You think about like how big Canseco and McGuire were in the late 80s. It had to be even bigger for the M&M boys in the early 60s, mid 60s. And going back to that 61 season, by the way, they combined for 115 home runs, more than entire teams hit. The Red Sox entire team hit 112 that year, and Mantle and Maris hit 115 alone. That was an amazing duo. I got them at number 3. But at number 2, call me biased if you want to, 13 seasons together. They hit 30 plus home runs 14 times. This is Willie Mays, Willie McCovey. They spent part of 3 decades as teammates, 1959 all the way through to 1972. Each led the league in home runs 3 times while teammates, and they combined for over 800 bombs. Both won Rookie of the Year awards. Both won MVPs, Mays in 65, McCovey in 69 while teammates. And they brought a National League pennant to San Francisco in 62. Unfortunately, they never won a World Series, which is why I couldn't quite put them number 1. But this was absolutely one of the best power hitting duos in baseball history. I got them at number 2. Number 1 in my heart, of course, as a Giants fan, but that's Willie Mays and Willie McCovey. But we all know who's number 1. Do you know who's number 1? I know you know it. Of course, Brandon Belt and Evan Longoria. And it is not close.
A joke. He made a joke.
Actually, it's a Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. That's the obvious choice, and I think that they deserve it. There is no duo close when it comes to year after year of domination. From 1923 to 1934, they hit 859 bombs. 13 seasons of 40 plus home runs. And in 1927, they were also chasing a record. They were chasing Babe Ruth's own record of 59. They ended up hitting 107 home runs. Ruth breaks his own record, hitting 60. Gehrig hits 47. But most impressive, they brought not one,
Not two, not three.
but 4 world championships to New York. 1923, 1927, 1928, 1932. To me, it's a no-brainer. Babe Ruth, who I had as number 1 as the greatest player, the GOAT, but he is also part of the GOAT duo, which is Babe Ruth and the great Lou Gehrig. That's who I got as number 1 as the best power hitting duo in MLB history. So guys, let me know what you think below of my list of the greatest power hitting duos in history. Sorry, it's a little different than my normal video. I am doing some changes. I'm working on setting up a new computer and working on some things, but I did want to put a video out to you guys, and this was requested. Shout out again to Joaquin who requested. Maybe that's Joaquin Arias. He was a good Giant for a while. So Joaquin Arias, thanks for the request. You guys have a fantastic day. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to check the links in the description below. Check out my Patreon page, check out the join button below, and check out HummBabyBaseball.com. Thanks guys again. See ya! When the Giants come to town, it's bye bye baby. Every time the chips are down, it's bye bye baby. History's in the making at Oracle Park.